Ses var mı? Hemen söyler misiniz lütfen gelenler? Duyuyor musunuz? Ses var mı? Okey. Öncelikle Lucas hoş geldin. Welcome to our live connection. Lucas'la İngilizce konuşacağız arkadaşlar. Cumhur aşağı yazacak. Cumhur Görgün aşağı yazacak. Lütfen biraz sabırlı olalım. Öpüyorum herkesi. Ve canlı yayına başlıyoruz Lucas'la. Bir saniye sessizlik olacak.
Hey!
Bağlanamadık hala.
Mwah! Mwah!
Hey!
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Oh, I'm great, man.
I'm
so
listening
happy to
to,
see you.
I'm listening to you.
Yeah,
You are greatest artist.
that recording's like
Hello?
10 years old. It's good
Can
to
you hear
see
me?
you. I can hear you. Yes, I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Fine.
Welcome to Turkish opera site. I'm going to show you first beautiful Istanbul, if you don't mind.
Wow, I'd love to see
This
it.
is
Thank
Bosphorus. This is Bosphorus, and if you would like to, if somebody is calling us, I don't know who's is calling me.
You can
I don't
always
know.
just ignore it.
So, yeah, I know. I just ignore him. I just want to show you this beautiful Istanbul. Sorry, my camera
So
might be.
beautiful. Burak, when are we going to sing again Don Giovanni there? We have to sing that and bring it to your people in Istanbul.
I know. We must do that. You are a great Don Giovanni. I enjoy a lot singing with you, buddy.
Thank you, Burak.
And
I miss you.
we have this high towers, and of course everybody is in quarantine right now.
Yeah.
We have like these towers, but the Bosphorus is here, and I'm sure you will enjoy here. When everything will calm down, we're gonna bring you here.
I'd love
for vacation with Irina and your beautiful boy.
Yes, with Cash, who's taking a nap right now, but it's about 5 minutes past time for him to be up.
You just work out, no? You just work out?
I just finished working out. I just showered, and now I'm here. I shaved for you, my friend. I haven't shaved in like a week, and now I'm here for you.
Wonderful. You are a prepared artist. Always, you are a wonderful artist. You're a great artist.
Thank you.
Everybody is commanding. You can be able to read it in English or Turkish. I don't know if they will not understand. I just would like to say he's a Grammy award winner, baritone, Lucas Meachem, and he's good friend and a great artist. How is the connection now? Can you hear me? Us?
I can just fine. I don't know about everyone else, but if I can hear you, most likely everyone can hear you.
I think so. I think so too. You sang in the La Bohème in the Met, also Pagliacci, Mercutio. I just would like to tell the people who's connecting with us, I want them to know you because you are a great singer, not great father, great friend, and you are a great singer. And you sang it all over the world, not only in America, all in America. Also, you sang in Vienna, Royal Opera, Glyndebourne, Oslo, Berlin, Komische Opera, Montpellier, Bilbao, Madrid, and you sing wonderful Mahler. and you sing wonderful Queen.
I do sing Queen. Well, hi, Solinette.
I know.
You too.
And I just want to say, your boy loved to listen Escamillo aria. I just saw that. I just saw this video.
You saw that, yes. What do you
yes, of
think?
course.
You know what? For years, Burak, I said no to Escamillo because I thought it's just too low for me. And then finally I got old enough and I thought, well, you know, I might be able to do Escamillo.
You are not old.
So,
You are young. Don't say that. There's a lot of baritones in the world.
I matured to the point that it could sound nice in my voice, and I thought it was pretty good. It's a pretty sound, you know. Some Escamillos are like, and I'm sort of like, you know.
I know. And you are tall, and you fit on stage, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Mostly singers, you know, mostly opera singers, short, like me, fat or.
No. Burak, tell me. So, who are all these people that are joining us right now?
All of them is mostly young singers, or
Yes.
They are teaching in Turkey. They are mostly connecting from Turkey, or someone who follows you to the internet, through the internet. Which I have a good friend. His name is Barbaros. He's a pop singer, but he's a big fan of you, and he loves your. He follows you like crazy.
Oh,
and
that's so nice. Well, we have a request already from Zibel Han. A sample, please, from Queen.
He did in Cincinnati, front of all singers. May I tell this story?
I don't know. Yeah, why not? I don't know the story, so I'll be just as.
We went to, after the rehearsal, Don Giovanni, we went to eat something with all cast, and there was a karaoke bar with Marcus. You remember the Marcus?
Yeah.
Marcus, and that's the one of the karaoke bar. They put it some stupid songs, and the singers was awful. And we have the all opera singers and all opera people there, and you request. What did you request? Do you remember?
Man, I sing so much karaoke. There's no telling what I request.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, then all right.
And you sang amazing. You sang amazing. And then somebody guy singing "To Dream the Impossible Dream," and then I sang behind of him. He was horrible. And then Marcus was telling me, "Shut up! Don't interrupt him." And he was like, "To dream the impossible dream, to find with unbeatable woe." He sounded like this, and then I was singing the top of him, and we enjoyed a lot. We had fun. And how is everything in United States right now? Everything is calm, better.
It's calm because everyone is staying home. You know, like
yeah.
For the most part, I think there are only 8 states that have not issued a shelter-in-place order. So that means 42 states have told everyone to stay home, and that's what we're doing. I was in Dallas about to sing my first Don Carlo, sing Rodrigo for the first time.
Wonderful.
Yes, and we rehearsed for about 4 days, and then they canceled the whole production. But I was supposed to be in Dallas for 2 productions, so the entire Don Carlo cast left and went home. And I stayed because I had a production after that production. And then finally, they canceled the Barbiere that I was supposed to do after that. And so anyway, we drove home because we drove there because Dallas is, I mean, it's not close, but we were there for so long. And with my son, I wanted to have a bunch of stuff. So we drove home, and we've been home ever since. How are you? How are things in Turkey?
We are fine. We are in Istanbul. We go sometimes for shopping. We go out and we come back. Everything is calmer. What I watch through the United States, but I don't want to talk about those stuff. I just want to hear, how are you doing? I saw your story yesterday. It was snowing there, and you were complaining about that. But it's okay. Might be better. You know, you never know.
It's okay because we stay inside all day. It's okay. We do go for walks. We're able to go for walks because where I live, there's a lot of beautiful forest and trees and nice walking paths. So, you know, it's okay. Yeah. Of course, yesterday it was too cold, but anyway.
Wonderful.
Well, look, man, we're not here to talk about Corona. We're not here to talk about the walking paths. We're here to talk about opera. So let's jump in, man. Let's get going.
I agree. Is there anything? I have questions, a lot of questions, and I want people to ask questions. They can ask Turkish, and I can translate.
Yes. Well, and have you done many Instagram lives? Because there's a question box at the bottom.
I know.
Okay.
I know. When it's red and I get the question.
Yeah, right.
And we have 1 hour, and then after we might be continue in 1 hour, it cuts, and I will cut it before 1 hour, if you don't mind, and then we join like we control, they don't control for us.
Right.
It will be better. All right. I have a question. Is there any difference between working in United States or in Europe? Do you feel it? This?
Yeah, huge difference. Yeah, it's very big. So first of all, the opera houses in the United States are bigger than the opera houses in Europe. So when I sing in Chicago or New York City at the Met, for instance, I have to always concentrate on my sound going out the whole time. And in order to do that, I have to sacrifice some of the effects that I might want to give to a character. So say I just sang Don Giovanni at the Chicago Lyric Opera, and I had to really concentrate on keeping my sound moving forward. In Europe, an average opera house is between 1,200 and 1,800 seats is big. In the United States, 2,500 to 3,500 is the average.
Larger,
so it's significantly bigger. So when I sang Don Giovanni in Glyndebourne per se, then I could concentrate. It's a 1,200 seat house or so. I'm around 1,200, and it's a wooden house, and so I could be very quiet and really almost whisper and still be heard. So that's one big difference. The other big difference is in the United States, they care a lot more about how you look than in Europe. If you're a big fat guy with the Pavarotti voice, I feel like Pavarotti could not be as successful as he was in the United States now. But in Europe, they don't care as more. They care a little more about the voice. There are some houses, these are all generalizations. So there are some opera houses that are not this way. You know, they don't care what you look like. They want the best singer. But in general, I find that they care more about looks in the United States than they do in Europe. And those are the biggest differences for me.
How do you improve your as a musician? What do you do to be a better singer?
It's funny, in the beginning when you start to learn, they tell you not to listen to recordings. Because when you listen to recordings, you try and imitate rather than just use your true voice.
Yes.
And now, though, that I've done this career for almost 20 years, I listen to a lot of recordings. Because right now, I feel like my voice is in a great place. But sometimes stylistically, it's difficult to switch from Mozart to bel canto to Verdi. So that's the I can sing all that stuff well. My voice is good for that. However, the style needs to be there as well, and that's what I'm working on right now. Is the very Italianate Verdi style, and I find it helps a lot to listen to recordings. So that's what I'm doing these days: is listening to
listening the dead baritones, no, listening not the live baritones.
Yes. Well, some of them, you know.
Some of them. Yeah, exactly. Like we have same taste. We have always same taste. I remember. Do you proud to be a singer?
I am so proud to be a singer. Absolutely. I don't know what I'd do if I wasn't a singer. You know, I'd try to find something.
But
yeah. What's that?
You have a great imagination. You are an artist, not like only to go to stage and sing. I just saw your Christmas clip, music clip. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's wonderful because it's an imagination. It's not like, you know, you don't stay in one line and go stage and sing, open your mouth and give some sound. You imagine for other stuff to make yourself. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Do you invent any exercises?
No, I'm very consistent with my vocal exercises. And I actually have a clip on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, that takes people through my vocal warm-ups that I do before every show.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. So
yes, go ahead.
I basically, I know. I mean, For the most part, I don't invent things because I like to keep it the same day to day, because if I have a good day, I want to have another good day and another good day and another good day. So I try and do things that help me the most on my good days. As far as warm-ups, as far as what I eat, as far as how long I sleep, as far as how much water I drink, I try and keep those things consistent so that when I have a show day, I know that nothing's going to be wrong. And if something is wrong, I know that it's not because I wasn't prepared. You know, it's because I'm sick or I have allergies or I didn't sleep well or whatever it is.
Yeah. I have a tough question. Do you have a great technique?
Yeah, I do.
Great.
I think I have a good technique. I think I have a great technique. Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. Thank
you.
And you improve more and more.
Yeah. Well, if I found that one thing is more important than I might have thought in the past, it's breath control. Because I mean, everyone says breath control is important, and I've always preached this, but breath control for me is the key to consistent singing. And so it's really the most important thing. It's the key to getting through long phrases. It's the key to singing with beauty and line through the voice. So it's the most important thing.
Yeah. Okay. I go to questions, and now they are asking for us.
Yeah. Bring it up. Let's hear some questions.
Okay.
And I'm trying to speak very slowly. And,
yeah, you are fine. You are fine. Don't worry. They understand. If they don't understand, they can watch over and over the same program. Hello,
Okay.
Mr. Meachem. Do you like to sing characters with the more comedic nuances and more dramatic?
Okay, that's a great question. Honestly, I have to say, people, when they ask me what my favorite opera is, it's normally the opera that I'm performing at that time. So I do have my favorite operas that I like to listen to, but I love whatever show I'm in. If I'm singing The Barber of Seville, which is a comedy, then I love doing that. If I'm singing Don Carlo, which is more of a drama, then I love that. So I don't have a preference per se. I really don't. And honestly, I think that you can find comedy in drama and you can find drama in comedy.
Yeah.
But I have to say comedy is more difficult.
That was what was the regisseur? You did Figaro, the video. I think Irina recorded, no? That one on YouTube.
Oh, the one you just played?
Yeah. Who was
that was San Diego Opera. That was just a random person in the audience. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, what was the director name? I forgot that director name. Who was the producer?
Was John Copley.
John Copley. I did that production too in Dallas. I did in Cincinnati.
Peaceful. It's such a good production.
Great production, yeah.
Except
with
for the
clouds.
Weird ending to the first act where they hold up the Rossini heads. Other than that, everything's great.
Yeah, Dr. Bartolo hats. You know, he put his keys there and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another question. Oppa, what happened to my
That happens
camera?
To me sometimes too. It just turns it around anyway.
Hello. When you were young, how do you cope with anxiety and stress?
Oh, that's a
when
great
you were
question.
young. When you were young, how did you cope your anxiety or stress? What did you do? How did you get off?
First of all, I should say I've never been a very stressful person. I'm normally very relaxed. You know me, Burak. I'm pretty chill. I'm relaxed. But if I ever stressed out, I would use sports. I played a lot of basketball when I was younger. And a nice tool that I find these days is that when something happens that is stressful, I allow myself to stress out about it, but I only allow myself 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever it is. And then I'll even set a clock. And once the alarm goes off, I say, okay, that's it. Time to deal with it, time to move on and fix it. So that's a nice tool that you might use if you do stress out about things. Allow it to happen. Like visualize the stress up here. This is a bad thing. It's going to come. It comes, and then let it go, and it goes away.
Let it go. Exactly. You don't live with that.
No, it's impossible. You can't.
Exactly. Okay, a tough question. Have you ever think stopping middle of the performance?
Only once, but I didn't stop. I kept going,
Good
and
for
it
you.
was because I was sick. It was in Madrid, and
Yes.
at intermission, I told them, I
Yeah.
said, please hold the curtain because I don't know if I can go on. And then I'm in my dressing room, like I feel like I might, be sick. I
Throw
feel
out,
like I might.
exactly.
I just was. There was some. I had food poisoning. I ate something, and
Oh,
all of a
oh.
sudden I hear over the loudspeaker the orchestra start the second act, and I was
Mm-hmm.
so mad. I was so upset. I was thinking I just have to cancel because they didn't give me the time to recover and see how I do. But you know what I did?
Yeah.
I went out on stage. I thought, well, if I have to do it, I'll go behind the set, and I don't know. So I just went out. But honestly, Burak, as soon as I hit the stage, everything
Yeah.
went away.
You change because
Everything went away. I
the
wasn't me
adrenaline
anymore.
and
I
the
was
energy.
scared.
You had another Lucas came back.
Exactly.
Another Lucas, which is like a great artist on stage. It can shake you.
That energy, it's amazing the
I
energy you
know, I
bring.
know, I know your energy. You are wonderful. When we sang Don Giovanni, when we sang in, do you remember in Florida, Miami? You were amazing, Zurga. It was your first Zurga, I
Yes,
remember.
that's right.
You
Yeah,
were
it
you
was
were
my
you
first
were
photograph.
fantastic. You were
Thank you, thank you.
fantastic,
That's
fantastic.
one of my favorite roles, honestly, because it fits my voice well. It's a good piece.
How do you prepare the new role for just acting? Like when you think for the new role, like Don Carlo, like if you are preparing for Rodrigo, like how do you start? Not like starting for music to the character. How do you like? I don't know. Do you read the libretto before
Yes,
the written
that's exactly
libretto?
what I do. I read the libretto, and then I think to myself, what would I do? Because at the end of the day,
Hmm.
I have to play Rodrigo. It's nobody else's
Exactly.
interpretation. So when I read through the libretto, I take all of my life that's happened
Hmm.
to me up until this point, and I say, how
Hmm.
can I relate to this person?
Hmm.
And the most important thing with any character is to portray
Hmm.
them honestly. And I know that sounds obvious, but the more honest you can be with a character, you have to allow that character to
Yes.
be that character while allowing yourself to be
Hmm.
yourself, and then bring the two together. And that's very
Exactly.
difficult to do.
You know, Kala said always that word. I'm an honest singer on stage. I'm an honest singer for each character,
Yeah, yeah,
and I don't play them.
yeah.
I'm honest with them. She
Yeah.
always said that.
I just sang Don Giovanni in Chicago, and the director kept saying terrible things about Don Giovanni as a character. Not me, but the character of Don Giovanni. Is like he's a rapist. He assaults women. He's a bad guy. And I said, can you please not talk about my character that way? Because you can never think that of your own character. Because
Yeah.
nobody, I mean, only even serial killers think, well, I did it for a reason, So
Hmm.
even if you play the devil, Mephisto, even if
Yeah.
you play
Exactly.
him, you have to think, I'm not a bad guy. I'm doing what I need to do
No. No.
because I need to do
Exactly.
it. So you can never think that you are
Yes.
bad in any way.
You have a reason. You have a reason. Uh,
Exactly.
Mephisto is not the bad man to take the character. He's a noble man, which
Yeah.
is he has a character and he has an energy. Like
Yes.
when you think about only reality, he has an energy. He doesn't need to be bad because he has the energy. He can do whatever he wants. And
Yeah.
the music put it for his line and everything. Like
Yeah. You're right.
there
But
is a guy. He's keep asking that question, and I'm not gonna read that question. I'm sorry. That is a little bit out of mind question.
well, I
Sorry
see
about that.
Solnet and let's see, baritone.
If you didn't like your performance enough in one show, do you get anxiety for another show?
Um, I getting, you know what? So say I have a mistake that happens in a show. First of all, I never
Mm-hmm.
admit it to myself until after the show. I put my memory to that point to try and remember it so that I can go in
Yeah.
my practice room. And then for the next few days between the show that's ended and the next show, I practice that in my head. I practice it vocally. I practice it in my acting, my staging, whatever needs to happen. I practice it because the reason I actually never get nervous to go on stage. Some people have big nerves and they get very stressed out and anxious and nervous. I never get nervous. And I say the reason I never get nervous is because I prepare so much. And if I wasn't prepared, then I would be nervous. So if something happens that's weird in the moment, it's fine. If it happens twice, then you might want to consider what's going on. But as long as you prepare and revisit those moments that go weird in the show, you should be fine for the next performance.
There is a Barbaros I was mentioning to you about that. He's a great pop singer. He just asked a question. Barbaros, send it to us through that place, put it there, and then I can read better. What do you suggest for young singers for passaggio? It's a technical question.
Yeah, no, I love these technical questions actually, because I'm going to give you a technical answer to a technical question. So for any singer, when we start to get into the passaggio, it's important to remember that, can you hear me, Burak?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. No problem.
So it's important to remember that we have two options for, well, several options for sound. But if there's a spectrum of sound, we have forward space here and dark space over here. Forward being dark being okay? On this spectrum somewhere is where we have to figure out where we want to place our sound, okay? What resonators in our heads do we want to use? I like to end up about 2/3 into forward space. So now that we've established that for middle and low voice, we're 2/3 into forward space, what do you do when you go into your passaggio? I like to continue to keep it in that forward space, but modify the vowel in the back. And I'll tell you exactly what vowels modify to what. A modifies to E modifies to E, and modifies to like schön, okay? Those are the vowel modifications that happen. Now, all right, as a baritone, I'll tell you what I do. I start to modify around E natural. So at the beginning of your passaggio, you need about 0.5%. Let's just take 0.5% in that and as you go to E natural to F natural, about 1% and then F natural to F sharp, 2% F sharp to G, 3% until you're sort of no more than 5% at any point. Okay, and that's I mean, I hope that's not too technical. I got a technical question. I wanted to give a technical answer.
You're gonna promise us we're gonna take you again in another program in here, because you are a great teacher. I just want to tell you, the thing is, a lot of good singers, and they don't teach well, they don't hear well, and they don't hear, and they don't know the way how to approach the singer, and they have a lot of crazy imaginations, crazy stuff. But you go to in the perfect way, perfect explanation to yourself.
Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you.
And I have funny explanation too, and for baritones, and you go to do like this position, and then you go to re like that, and then mi, and then fa, you make it, and fa diez comes like that.
I like that. Look at that. I can't believe you have this. That's hilarious.
You know, for baritones, they can use for fa diez like that. This is the most important place, and you can have fa diez there.
Yeah.
This is for fun, my friend. For fun, funny times, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry. We go on. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay, another question. Have you ever trained as a tenor when you were a student?
The very first year of college, when I was 18 years old, I went into college thinking I was a tenor, but the only way I could sing those high notes was by lifting my larynx. So I would do like that. And so my teacher at the time took so much time to lower my larynx and to relax my larynx. So anyway, yeah, that's. But as soon as he taught me that I need to stop holding on here, I was a baritone, and I've been one ever since. Though I don't know if you saw my La Speranza. Did you? Have you know about the La Speranza challenge? From La Boheme. La Speranza.
Yeah, it started. What's his name? The baritone. I sang. He just hit it for the high do. He started with that too. What's his name? I forgot.
It was a baritone? I thought it was a tenor that started it. Anyway, I did
No, the baritones. Baritones started in America.
And he sang it? The C?
Yes.
Wow.
What's his name? I'm gonna tell you his name. I forgot his name. Oh my God, I'm very bad. And the baritone started with the tenor sound, and then he started with the high. Oh my God, his name I forgot.
Yeah. Anyway, the whole point of it is that people, when I did that video, everybody was like, "You were a tenor. You're a tenor," and I'm like, "Did you not hear me crack that high C?" Like I did it. So Burak, I did at first the high C, then I did the B natural, and then I did the B flat, and I kept moving it down a half step. And the only thing I could get was I got the B flat actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. But Barbados was saying Cheryl Mills. No, I don't think he did it. He's though I did just bump into Cheryl actually at the what is it, New York City. I just saw him, and he's doing very well. It's a great baritone and a really good guy.
Great, wonderful person. Great person. And he has a fun man. I had a fun time with him in Welsh, in Cardiff, and we had 2 bottles of vodka together.
That sounds right.
Okay,
anyway,
another
what's
question.
next? Let's move on.
Yeah. When did you start taking voice lessons?
I started taking voice lessons when I was 15 years old, and I always thought that I would sing like gospel music or pop music or something, because I can sing that stuff really well, actually. And by the way, baritone Adam, drop your questions into the question box, and then Burak will get to them. Okay.
Exactly.
15.
Wow, 15 you started.
Yeah.
How did it happen when you become, you know, the what is this called, when the body change and everything, the hormonal change?
Your voice changes. Yes.
Exactly. What did you do?
About 14, probably 14. Yeah, 13, 14. And
wow.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I started taking voice lessons, but I grew up, Burak, in the middle of nowhere. I grew up in the woods in North Carolina. I grew up, there was no opera. There was no classical music. I studied with this voice teacher. She was the only person that could teach me. And basically, she just sort of taught me how to sing in Latin and Italian. And it was just, I mean, it was very basic.
God bless her. God bless her.
Yes, exactly.
She did for you, and you become a great singer, my friend. Yeah. The singer is Stephen Powell.
Stephen
Powell started for high C, and I said to him, when you were singing Stephen, I wrote him, when you were singing high C, your wife next to you or not? And then he said yes. Did she prove it? Yes. And then that's it. I said to him, okay, that means sounds good.
Wow.
Okay, we have another question.
I can't do it. I couldn't do it, and I'm a baritone. So, I mean, not all baritones can sing a high C, nor should they. So, anyway.
Bariton Adam, I know you ask funny questions, and we are talking nice way. I don't know. You always try to keep healthy habits. It is not common for Turkish singer. Would you give us any tips?
All right. Well, maybe you could tell me first, why are Turkish singers not healthy?
I don't know. I never seen that kind of question. Yeah. I don't know. Well, she has to explain to us. Maybe she might be right the reason.
No, it's okay. I think I know how to talk about this, because I don't want to be healthy or unhealthy. I want to do what is best for my voice. Yeah. And I learned how to do that through trying different things. So, for instance, some people say you can't eat milk or peanut butter before you go on stage. For me, that's never been a problem. So I can or cannot eat milk or peanut butter before I go on stage. So I'd say to you, don't think of healthy or not healthy. Of course, you always want to be a healthy person, because I find that the healthier your body is, the healthier your voice is, the healthier your mind is, the healthier your voice is. All of that helps each other for sure. But I would say this, try things that you think might not be good when it's not important. Say you have a voice lesson tonight, have a glass of wine and see how you feel the next day. If you can sing, then wine's not a problem. If you have trouble and it's not as good as it normally is, then don't. So there was a time in my life, Burak, where when I knew you, actually, when we were singing Cincinnati, where I would drink a beer every night before my Don Giovanni's, because Don Giovanni at the time was low for me, and it's still a little low, but my voice has matured in timbre. So I would have a beer the night before, and I'd wake up and go, oh, yeah, this is great.
Yes.
So try. Make your mistakes while you're young, because when you start a career, there's no room for mistakes anymore. So make all your mistakes now. Hey, Daniel Serafin just got on. Hey, Daniel.
Is one of your fans, I think, no?
One of my friends. No, he's a friend. He's just a great guy. Hey, good to see you.
Great. Okay, we have another questions in here. Sorry. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I like to ask, do you think there is a certain age to sing Verdi?
So again, I could generalize and say you probably shouldn't sing Verdi until your late 20s at least. But it just depends on the individual, really. Because I have heard some people sing Verdi well at 25. Excuse me, who have I? No, I've never heard a 25-year-old sing Verdi. That's a lie. I've never heard a 25-year-old sing Verdi convincingly. I've heard people that probably will be able to sing Verdi well at 25, but still are not quite there. There's just a lot of time. And the biggest reason for this is not that you should or should not sing Verdi at a certain age. The problem with that, if you start singing Verdi at 25 and say you're the most you're the most famous Verdi baritone in the world at 25, you are. By the time you turn 35, 36, 37, everyone in the world has heard you sing all the Verdi rep. And they don't want to hear you sing that anymore. They want to hear the next biggest thing. So when you turn 35, you have to move into Wagner repertoire. Okay? So now you become the most famous Helden baritone of all time. When you get to 40, when you get to 45, you have to retire, because what else are you going to do? So what I'm saying is that for the prolonging of your career and your voice, you should continue to study and not move into Verdi repertoire probably till your 30s at least. Because if you do, there's nowhere for you to go when people have heard enough of you sing Verdi, and then you have to move on to Wagner, and then you have to move on to what? There's nothing.
What? Where are you going to go? Exactly. Which methods do you use for your characters? Do you use any methods for the roles?
It depends. If I'm auditioning, which I don't do anymore, but when I used to audition, I would use a method that was taught to me by the great director, Chuck Hudson. It's called the 3 points of focus, where you come up with whatever aria you're singing, you come up with 3 emotions. You put the most important one in front of you here. You put the second most important one over here and another one over here. And you give to this way, and then you come over here, and then you give this way, and then you always start and end straight up. So
and you finish on straight up.
Yes. Yeah, I mean that's very quick to go through that, you know. But you know, but no, for the most part.
This is Chuck teach always a lot of techniques, but these are they are not familiar about this stuff in Turkey, and but this is a good example for them. They can hear, because I don't think they know those stuff in Turkey.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we'd really have to get into for 10 or 15 minutes for me to explain it, you know. So I don't think we should do that, but.
No. But do you create your own method also?
I just try to be honest. I find the more honest I am, the better
This is
my
a
acting.
this is a tonight word, to be an honest on stage.
An honest singer,
And yeah, and Lucas gave this word to us, and thank you, Lucas.
Yeah.
Another question. I have questions. I just want to say, whomever write the questions, please be less line, and then we can be able to read everything. When you were a student, did you had any accidents that made you lose your motivation, and how did you cope with that?
I never had any one big moment where I lost my motivation, but I do have to say that if you are losing your motivation, it's kind of like being stressed out. That's okay. Just accept it, find it again, and get back to it. You know, say, I'm going to be unmotivated. Take a day, take 3 days, take a week, and just be there, be unmotivated. That's fine. As long as you come back to your practice, you should be okay. You know, just don't let it become a normal thing. And if you're having issues with that, you should really talk to somebody, talk to a professional about it who might be able to help you through it.
Have you ever get angry on stage for any of your colleagues when you were singing? Funny questions.
All right. I wasn't, all right, a very recent example. I wasn't angry, but I was worried for a colleague. I was singing, well, see, if I tell you, I've only sung the opera once, and it's recently. So if I tell you, you're going to know. In any case, my colleague had...
Is it Tannhäuser? What was it? Was it Tannhäuser?
No, it was not.
Was it Tannhäuser?
Anyway, don't ask any more questions. I'm just going to tell you this. I'm going to say that she had an argument with the conductor before the show. And so the whole performance, she was the title role. The whole performance was just this the whole time. And she's my love interest. And so I was like, hey, it's you, you know? And so I was just, I wasn't mad at her, but I was worried for her. So it made me, I don't know. Anyway, so no, I don't know. My colleagues, they're all great. You know, once, and I have to say, so when you're in school, when you're in college, there can be a lot of, you know, people that are jealous and people that are not, think you're not the best and think that just think negative things of each other. And it can become very cliquey. Do you know what cliquey means? Click means I have my group, you have your group, and we don't like our groups. So it can be that way in college. So I'd say the most important thing, the only person that you're ever in competition with is yourself. So always be the best you that you can be, and never try and sound like anyone else. Never try and do anything that other people do. Just be the best you can be. You can learn from other people. You can learn from people that you like. And I learned more from people I didn't like the way they sing than anything else, because I said, I have to make sure to be careful not to do that. So anyway, just be yourself and be the best you can be.
You can be, yes. Another question from Barbaros. While you were making piano on high note, how do you use your breath? What can you suggest for young singers for breathing exercises?
Okay, this is great. So first of all, the feeling of when you're on a high note, I like to say that if you're in your passaggio or above, mezzo forte is piano. Okay? So don't worry about, if you do a mezzo forte with the intention of a piano, it becomes a piano for you. Okay? Because singing in your passaggio, if you're on your breath, it's almost impossible to sing at the decibel level that would be considered a piano. So what I like to say to people is, like I said, sing mezzo forte with the intention of piano, and you feel like you're riding on top of your air, like you're riding a Harley Davidson, and it's like that. That's what my air does, and it's the most difficult thing to do. So if it's difficult, it is difficult to sing a light or easy high note that's considered. Okay, we continue. Please do not write your questions on
to screen. Please put it, the questions mark place, and then we can be able to read it all together. Have you had, Ardan Beyarsan asked, have you had serious problem with your voice up this time? How did you deal with that?
I've had a few moments where I tried a different voice teacher, or I tried a different
Marlena,
technique.
which is Marlena Malas, is a great voice teacher.
That's my voice teacher now, and I'm so happy.
I know.
She's wonderful. But I should say, if anything, the teacher thing about teachers, every teacher in the world is the best teacher for someone and the worst teacher for someone else. So sometimes it takes a while to find the teacher that works for you. What I would say, if you're starting out and you want to find a new teacher or a teacher at all, is listen to your colleagues, to your friends, to your peers. Who do you like that they're singing of, and ask them who they study with. Then go try out a lesson with them. If you end the lesson and you're tired, probably not the best person for you. If you're trying a new technique and you end and you're tired, probably not the best technique. Your voice will show you the way.
Exactly. How do you feel? And another question from you. Do you like to take off your shirts?
No.
On stage.
No.
On stage.
Of course not. I don't know.
But they ask you. They ask you.
It's
They
so
ask
much
you to take off.
It's stress. It's so much pressure, and it makes opera about
Your
looks.
connection.
What?
Your connection. It's come back. My connection or yours. I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Tell me again. It's because there's a lot of people now. There's a lot of people online now.
If I stress out about anything, it's about having my shirt off on stage, because all of a sudden opera becomes about the way you look, not about the way you sound or the way you act. And so I didn't study for as long as I've studied to have a six-pack. I studied as long as I've studied to be able to give you a wonderful performance that you can appreciate. So it adds a lot of pressure, and it means that I can't eat for like a month. So, you know, it's like, it's just, you know, you have to go on diets, you have to go to the gym. It's so much work.
I remember you in Miami. Oh, yeah. Do you remember we had a body paint and then all clothes get colors and everything?
We would go and we'd hang out by the pool and get tan.
Exactly.
And we'd be like, hey, we're working.
Exactly. What do you recommend for young singers and students? I ask, what is the best you can recommend? Like, first thing, like in your...
Okay, here's probably the best thing that I wish I knew, or I wish I had considered when I was younger, is that always think of when you're warming up, don't consider that singing. Literally change the way you think about warming up. If you think about warming up as singing, you get really depressed, you get frustrated, you get down on yourself, and there's no reason. If you change your mindset to think that warming up is just warming up, and then once you have warmed up to a certain level, you can begin to now consider it singing. So that's probably the most important thing. Burak, do I have you?
Yeah, my connection or your connection. Yeah. Sorry, we are here.
Did you get something, that, or do I need to say it again?
No, can you repeat it again, please, if you don't mind?
I don't mind at all. So
please, thank you.
Okay. Warming up should be considered exactly that, warming up. So don't think of warming up as singing. Think of warming up as preparing to sing. So it gives you the peace of mind to make mistakes, to have problems, to not sound good, and don't try and sound pretty on your warm-ups. On my warm-ups, I've got the craziest warm-ups you could think of, but it's all to prepare me to sing. And then once I get to a certain spot in my warm-up, all right, good. Dylan Hughes just said the connection's good on our end. Good. Thank you, Dylan. And people in the chat, please let us know if the connection goes off. We'll try and fix it for you. So that's the most important.
Can you hear us? How is the connection? Everybody can write.
I can hear you just fine.
Everybody can give us 5, and then we can continue. Would you like to take 2 minutes and then we can connect again?
Sure, great. I'll get some water.
And if you don't mind, And we have another questions. Please write these questions again. Okay, last one I'm taking. Some opera singers were also very strong actors. How would you evaluate your acting skills?
I think I'm a great opera singer, and I'd say that I don't know. I'd say the majority of opera singers I work with are also great actors. I'd say it's rare to find an opera singer at a high level that is not a good actor, at least, if not a great actor. So it's I'm a great actor. I think I'm a great actor. I really care about that a lot. I care a lot
because you connect your life, because your character is great, and you connect with your life and lifestyle, and you live with that, and you enjoy with that. That is the most important thing. And this is the biggest problem in Turkey. Mostly young singers, they are very negative. And I was telling them about this. We were talking about the voice teachers yesterday. We started the live connections yesterday, actually. We will continue. I asked Aylin Perez to connect it, and she said, okay, or we'll see. We might be connect her too, because I want to have these young singers to have connections with you guys, and they can have better mind, because there is good singers in here, and they are developing, but they are very negative, and they are not. You saw the question. You just saw the question. And they are not be positive and be open mind, and they don't connect it. They are connected with the life in here on the outside, which is not good. You know, they are an opera singer. They have another type of life, like to be enjoy, to life. I don't know. Yeah. Well,
because the life is. What I'm saying with the whole warming up thing is that people can get down because they don't sound great at 10 o'clock in the morning. Not many people sound good at 10 o'clock in the morning. So warm up and judge yourself after you've warmed up. I wish I'd known that, because I would always start my day and be like, I already sound like crap. And then you don't sound like crap. You're just not ready to sing. It's like going out and playing a professional sport. You don't go out to play a basketball game and show up and just start the game. You warm up. And you don't care if you miss a few shots and warm up. That's okay. Fix the technique of your shot.
Exactly. Yeah, young singers, they don't have, how can I say, the most singers in here, they don't have time period. They don't wait for their time period. Whatever they watch on YouTube right now, they criticize the singers, whatever they say, they seize in here, and which is not good for them. They think they can be reached that point in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, which is the problem. And the good technique cannot be in 3 years, at least, like you just say you worked in 20 years and you are still working for your technique. And until you said finish, and you finish,
Well, let me add something to that, Burak, because I think you point out a good thing. So first of all, negativity is a choice. You can choose to be negative. You can choose to be positive, and that choice is up to you. So you can do what you like. Let me just tell people out there for a little support, though, that when I was 23 years old, 22, 23, I was singing with my third voice teacher. I had just changed colleges to a sort of a master's degree level. And I was studying with this tenor at the Eastman School of Music, and I would sing for him, and he'd be like, perfect. It's perfect. And then I'd go and I'd listen to Bryn Terfel and Dmitry Vorostovsky and Capuccilli and Tito Gobbi and Fischer Dieskau. And I would listen to those guys and be like, I sound like a pipsqueak. These guys are the real deal. I want to sound like that. And then I went in and told my teacher, I said, what is wrong? You say I'm perfect, and I don't sound like these amazing guys. He says, Lucas, you're perfect for a 22-year-old baritone. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right. And that's what people need to know, is you can be perfect and not sound like me, who's 41 years old. I'm 41. I sound like a 41-year-old baritone. If you're 22, if you're 23, if you're 25, if you're 28, if you're 30, you should sound like your age. If you don't sound like your age, then you're manipulating something in here, or you're a freak and you have an amazing voice. But for the most part, you're manipulating something in here to sound older. And I guarantee you that hurts you in the long run, because what you think sounds good to yourself does not go into the house.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Okay, buddy, you're going to take 2 minutes and then we're going to connect. Because the Instagram has 1 hour connection now, and I'm going to show you night vision of Bosphorus. And then we're going to continue for our wonderful connection. We're going to give 2 minutes, just 2 minutes for
Am I
drink
joining
water.
You back on this Instagram, or am I joining on your
Yes,
personal?
please. Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, same one, please.
All right,
same
2
one.
minutes. See you there in a
2
second.
minutes.
Oh,
Please
Burak,
ask. Yes, go ahead.
Make sure to see if you can take a picture or something of the questions that people have already put in, because I don't want you to lose all the questions that everybody put in.
Yeah, I will do that. I will do that.
Especially
1
the
second
people that have
before
been
we
waiting
close.
a long time.
I just want to say, I don't know this guy. He's asking, how do you crack? Have you ever cracked when you were young? You give the answers, and you don't need to ask
Burak, I
this
only
question.
have about 10 more minutes, actually. I have to feed my son some lunch. So,
Sure. 10 minutes. Would you like to take 10 minutes?
No. I only have about 10 minutes more to talk. I have to go and I have to do stuff.
I see. Okay. How about we connect and then we cut and then you go back and you do for your stuff, your son.
Okay,
all right?
that's good.
Okay,
I'll come
in 2
back
minutes.
In 2 minutes. All right.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye. Thank you.